Hey guys, Mike here. So today, I'm here to talk to you about 2007's No Country for Old Men, starring Josh Brolin as Llewellyn Moss and Javier Bardem as Anton Chigurh. In No Country for Old Men, chaos and mayhem ensue after a hunter discovers a drug deal gone wrong and more than $2 million in cash. And so we have No Country for Old Men. So guys, today's review was requested by no one. This one I just wanted to talk about because it's on the poster, so I'm going to talk about it. And going into this film as well, despite hearing really good things about it, I didn't know really much about it. I know that Javier Bardem was the villain in it, and beyond that, I didn't really know. I mean, like, I've seen the odd scene here and there, but I didn't really know the plot or really many of the other characters. But despite not knowing anything about it, I'd heard really good things about it, so I was really excited to watch it. So, what do they think of No Country for Old Men? Well, there are a lot of things in No Country for Old Men that you just cannot fault. First of all, the performances. The three leads, Tommy Lee Jones, Josh Brolin, and Javier Bardem, are brilliant in this film. For me, out of the movies that I've seen them in, Tommy Lee Jones and Javier Bardem give some of the best performances in their career. I would say definitely for Javier Bardem, because obviously this movie won him an Oscar, and I would say that it was very well deserved because he is easily the best part about this film. He gives such a mysterious, menacing, calculated performance. You never really know what this guy's going to do next, and it can seem like he can just do absolutely anything at any time. He is just so ridiculously unpredictable, and that really adds to the mystique and menace of the character. You really hang on this guy's every word, and every single scene he's in is just fantastic. And as well, I really like Tommy Lee Jones's character in this, the withered sheriff who's just basically tired of his job. Not because he doesn't care, but just because he's had the job for so long, and it's really just time that's kind of worn him out, until eventually it gets to the point for him where it doesn't necessarily break him, but it's just more the fact that he just kind of wants to rest. And I think Tommy Lee Jones really played that character to a T. And as well, Josh Brolin. Now, I really like Josh Brolin as an actor. He's turned in some really good performances over the years. And I would say that this was a good performance, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that it was, Oscar-worthy or fantastic or the best performance in this movie. Not to say that it's bad in any way, shape, or form, but it's not really that amazing either. I like the relationships that he had with most of the characters within the film. I love the whole cat and mouse thing that he had with Javier's character, but I wouldn't really say that he was a particularly amazing character. And as a whole, the movie is very well made. Good direction, good cinematography, good editing, and the pacing as well is something to take note of. It's the fact that something isn't happening all the time. It doesn't just have 5 minutes of talking, action, 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 then 5 minutes of talking. It's all very slow, very evenly paced, and it just makes you wait for something to happen. But in that time, it allows characters to develop, it allows tension to build, and it just allows the story to unfold naturally. And as well, with the characters as a whole, I liked the kind of blasé nature that everyone seems to have to pretty much everything going on. Not very many of the characters are very explosive or erratic. They're all very calm and melancholy about a lot of the things going on. That's not to say there are moments of rage, frustration, joy, or happiness. And I would say the characters react to things in a very realistic kind of way. But despite all the good things I've said about this film, I wouldn't personally say that it's the flawless masterpiece which most other people would say it is. There were one or two things that happened towards the end of the film which I just didn't like. Now, I don't want to spoil what exactly it is, but basically, something very significant happens towards the end of the film, and it happens off camera, and then when you actually see what actually happens, they don't really give you much time to even see what's actually happened. Basically, just as soon as it actually happens, it's just gone, over, done. And that for me left just a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Now, I can understand why it was done this way. It does really fit into the overarching tone of this film. It's just, it just left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, that's all. Even though the ending of the film does kind of follow in the same vein, I actually quite like the ending of this film because it's kind of rare that I do like movies that just kind of end, that feel like they haven't really finished off their story and they just kind of just finish. However, with No Country for Old Men, I feel like this was just the perfect way to end this story. Just kind of finishing it. Overall, guys, even though I did enjoy a lot of the things from this film, acting, direction, cinematography, editing, pacing, I wouldn't personally hold this film in such high regard as most other people would. I would just say this was an enjoyable film, which I'm very glad that I watched. But do I think you guys should watch this one? Even though there were a couple of things I didn't like about this film, I would say this is still a very good film that I think you should give your time to. Okay guys, that's my review of No Country for Old Men. Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you think I should watch next? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!